Basics of Adobe Illustrator is coming up next. Hey guys, this is Ankit from the Guy's Computer, and this is the first video of playlist Learning Adobe Illustrator with me. Now let's jump onto the computer. Here I have Adobe Illustrator 2021 on my Windows PC, and you can download it from adobe.com, where you will have to subscribe for their Creative Cloud plan. For $20, it is available for individuals, and if you are a student or a teacher, then you can get their all apps in a discounted subscription. So guys, this is the welcome screen of Adobe Illustrator, where you will see a lot of different portions. The first tab is the preset tab, where you will find different presets according to devices. And in the next tab, you can check your recent work. Here I have practiced some of the graphics. On the left side, you will see different options such as Home, where we are right now. Another is Learn. If you wanted to learn from Adobe Illustrator Professionals, then you can check these videos. Other than that, you will have Cloud Documents option, from where you can access the documents on your cloud. Now, to create a new design, click on Create New. Here, it will give you a lot of options. On the left side, we will see the preset details, where you can put your file name. Next, we have width and height adjustment. Now on the right side, we have measurement unit such as pixel, points, and many more. Here we have got the orientation option, and here we have artboard option. Now under the advanced option, we have color modes. One is RGB and another is CMYK. Now, as you might know, most of the display devices use color mode RGB. So you can select that. If your project required particularly CMYK color, then you can set it here. Next thing is pixel per inch. Now this setting is used if you want to print a graphic on a paper or even a cloth, then make sure to select highest number. Other than that, you can select screen if you are designing a graphic for a website. Next, on the right side, these are the custom dimensions which I had used in the past. Up here, you can select the templates and presets provided by Adobe. Now I will click on Create. So here we have a new document. This white area is called the Artboard, where we will be drawing every stuff. On the left side, we have a lot of tools, whereas on the right side, we have 3 tabs: Properties, Layers, and Libraries. Upper side, we have an option to switch workspace. Right here in Adobe Illustrator 2021, we have Essentials. Next thing, we have this bulb icon, from where you can explore a lot of different topics to learn. Next, we have the search option. Now talking about properties, we have first the document unit, from where you can select pixels, points, and whatever measurement system you want to work in. Now next is the artboard. Here, if you are working with multiple artboards, then from this location you can select artboards. This is the option to edit artboard, from where you can create a new artboard, delete an artboard. After that, we have got ruler and grids. If we click on this icon, a ruler will appear. After that, we have the grid option, which is very handy for making a lot of precise designs. Next, we have an option to show transparency grid, which make everything transparent. After that, we have guide option. We have simple guides, which we can show and hide, and then we have smart guides, which helps in aligning and in a lot of other tasks. For example, if I create a square here, as you can see here, I am moving and it is showing. This is called smart guides. After that, we have got snap options. Now, first of all, I have turned everything off, and as you can see, I am moving an object and how fluidic it is being moved. Now, if I will turn on this snap to point option, then it will lock on. Have a look, guys. I am moving this to the previous line, it is being locked. So this is how snap to point works. Alright guys, we have zoomed a little further and we will enable snap to grid option. Now the line is directly jumping to the grid. Now after that we have another option, snap to pixel. This option will lock your object to the pixel located. In the preferences we have got keyboard increment. For example, if I select this object and press the right or left arrow key, then it will jump 1 pixel as per this option. Now if I change it to 2 or even 10, let's see. I have selected this object and see, this is jumping 10 pixel. After that we have got another option, use preview bounds. To understand this option, first we will draw a square. Even we will set this square to 10 by 10. Alright, so after that we will set the stroke to 1 point. Now as noticed here, its width and height is 10 points and the stroke is 1 point. That means 0.5 point is on the right side and 0.5 point is on the left side. Now we will draw a line of 10 points at 0 degree and let's align this. Now as you can see guys, both are 10 pixels but not equal. So that means in this square we have this much extra here, but it is not taking it into consideration. So I will click on use preview bounds, and as soon as when I click on this, you can have a look guys, we have width and height 1 pixel extra. This way it is calculating the total pixel available on this shape, including those 0.5 as well. Now let's move on to the another option. We have scale corners. Let's first uncheck these. Now we have an object with these curved corners. If the scale corners is off and we try to resize it, then it becomes a circle and it will not retain the shape. So to retain its shape, we will click on scale corners, and now when we will resize it, then those corners are still there. But as you may have noticed, we have another issue. Right here we have this stroke of 1 point, but whenever we are trying to make it shorter, the stroke is still 1 point. So to scale it as well, we will check mark scale strokes and effects. Now it will automatically adjust the stroke with stroke as well. Here you can see it is now 0.2. After that we have another quick actions regarding document setup, where you can select unit and other stuff, and then we have preferences. Here we have a lot of settings. Now moving on to the next tab, it is layers. As like Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator also works on layers. Here we have first layer. At the bottom we can create a new layer by clicking. Now from this eye option we can visible or hide the layer. After that we have a blank square from where we can lock the layer, and then it will get locked. After that we have these colors to show the layers. Now if we click on a layer, we get an option to delete it and create a new sublayer. For example, if you are making a robot or a figure with multiple objects, then you can work on sublayers, which is very handy. We have another option here to make and release mask, which we will learn later on. And we can also export layers. After that, there is a library tab from where you can synchronize your artwork with Adobe Cloud, and then later you can use it on Photoshop and other Adobe products. It is very simple. You can just drag here and it will add the artwork. Apart from that, you can find these options from View menu. Before moving further, we will understand a few things. For example, I had made a line here. Now, as we can see here, there are a lot of points on this line. These are known as anchor points, and this whole thing is known as a path. On the right side, we have the appearance option for this line. We have the stroke of 1 point. Now, if I click here and if I remove this, then we can see the path, which is colorless, and as soon as I'll click on this stroke value, even if I try to minimize the stroke value, it will vanish. So this is the stroke covering that path. Now we have another option called fill. It is used to fill the areas which this path is covering. So if I want to fill this, I'll simply click on that, but as you can see, there is a weird thing happened. So to give this a color, we will change the color of a stroke. Similarly, the fill option is used to fill color on a closed path. For example, if I take this to the, now let's try to fill this up. As you can see, this had been filled. Now let's talk about the tools of Adobe Illustrator. First tool is Selection Tool, which helps in selecting and moving objects. When I use the Selection Tool on a shape, here at the corners we can see corner options. When we click and drag, the corners has changed the shape. Now moving on to the next tool, we have Direct Selection Tool. It is just like Selection Tool, but it works on points. For example, as I selected this, here we can see the points on this object. So if I click and drag, it will work on that point only. Now there are a lot of things which can be done with the help of this option, such as if I want this corner to be more curved, then I will click here and only drag it. Here individually with the help of Direct Selection Tool, I made it happen. So guys, next tool is Magic Wand tool, which is used for selecting the same colors. For example, we have multiple colors here. So I will click on Magic Wand tool and I want to select all objects of this color. So I'll click here and have a look guys. We have got the selection right here. For example, if I click on yellow, it will automatically select yellow across all the artboard. Now guys, the next tool is Lasso Tool, which is used to select the points in a certain area. For example, I want to edit the points of this area, then I will use Lasso Tool. It just works like a direct selection tool but with a better control. Now the next we have Pen Tool. Pen Tool is used to make objects. As you can see here, we have created some weird stuff from the Pen Tool. If you click and hold over the Pen Tool, you will find other options such as Add Anchor Point, Delete Anchor Point and Anchor Point Tool. Now to add an anchor point, just click here. It will add an anchor point between a path. The next option is Delete Anchor Point. If I want, it will delete the points. And the fourth option is Anchor Point Tool, which will help us to move the anchor points with the help of control, or if you use it freely, then it will help to curve the line. Another option we have Curvature Tool. As the name shows, it will create curves. I want to draw a circle, so I can make it happen. First I'll click here, click here, click here, click here, and boom, we have got a circle with the use of Curvature Tool. Next tool we have got is the Text Type Tool. As you can know, we have lorem ipsum, hello, and we have a lot of other options regarding this tool on the right side. Under the Type Tool we have Area Type Tool. This triangle is an area. If I click here, I will type hello, and all the text will stay inside this triangle, as you can see right here. Now after that we have got Type on a Path tool. This is a path, and if I click here, you can see the lorem ipsum is moving on a certain path. After that we have Vertical Type Tool and Vertical Area Tool. Now these all works just like these previous tools. We have got a Touch Type Tool, which helps to edit the properties of a letter. For example, if I click on here on L, you have got different options. With the help of this point, I can make it longer. Up here we have got an option to rotate it, and here I can make it smaller, and down I can make it wider. And yes, there is a dot which helps me to lift this. Another tool, we have Line Segment Tool. With the help of that, you can create a line or create a segment. Over the Line Segment Tool, you will find a lot of other tools such as Arc Tool, Spiral Tool, Rectangular Grid Tool, and Polar Grid Tool. Let's see the Arc Tool. It will create an arc. We have Spiral Tool. It will create a spiral. And then we have the Rectangular Grid Tool, and we have got the grid, guys. Now if I put the strokes here, we can see it. And then we have the Polar Grid Tool as well. Now we have the Rectangle Tool. Now as you can see here, you can see a little bit of arrow pointing downwards. This shows that with this tool you can select other options as well. For example, right here I can make a rectangle, but if I click and hold for a second, we have got a lot of options, so you can select whatever you need. After that we have this Paintbrush tool, which helps you to put your creativity on this Adobe Illustrator. Now we have got the Blob brush tool as well with Paintbrush tool. Now the only difference between these is the Blob brush tool consider this as a fill, whereas the Paintbrush tool is a stroke. Now how do you know that? If I click on this is drawn by simple Paintbrush tool, and you can see here on the right side we have the stroke value, whereas if I select the line drawn by the Blob brush tool, we have got no stroke, only fill. Next tool is the Shaper tool. With the help of this tool you can create any shape, lines, can do a lot of stuff such as merging two shapes together or even removing shapes. Now if you hold your click on the Shaper tool, you will find pencil, smooth, path, eraser tool, and join tool as well. After selecting the pencil tool, if you double click on this option, you will get pencil tool options. Here you can either make your drawing as accurate as you want to draw, or you can make it smooth. If I want to draw a circle, it is smoother, but if I want to exactly draw what I draw, then it will be like this. I have this object right here which is not too smooth, it has a lot of points here, so I will use smooth tool to make things better. First I will try click and hold, and now let's see what happens. As you can see, it is trying to make it continuous smooth, but remember you must select the object first, otherwise if it is not selected then smooth tool will not work at any cost. Now to understand path eraser and joint tool, I have drawn these curve using the arc tool. Now first I will select the join tool. As you can see here, the corners are joined, so I want this. Have a look. In this way I got rid of these extra lines and it got joined. Now I have the path eraser tool is used to erase a certain path. For example, now if I want to make some space here, I will click here and move to the path and it have the space for me. After that we have got eraser tool, which is used for erasing. We have got the scissor tool. Talking about the scissors tool, it works on the anchor points. First we will select something. For example, we have here in this figure a lot of anchor points. Now if I select scissors and I'll click here, I'll click here and I'll click, then as you can see here, we have got this part separated. To use the knife cut tool, we will create a shape. First we have to select this object and then we will make a cut. Now as you can see, there is a line here and these are now two different parts. Now you can separate them very easily. After that we have the rotate tool and reflect tool. Here as you can see, I have rotated this object. To use the reflect tool, first click on the object which you want to reflect and after that click on reflect tool. Now after clicking, we will get an anchor point which you can see here at the center, and now click and drag. This is a way which I don't use personally. I click on object from the menu bar, I go to transform and then I click on reflect, and from here I can select the angle. Now I will select an object and click on scale tool. Now we can easily scale it down, up, and then we have shear tool. To understand the shear tool, first we will create a rectangle. As you can see here, the shear tool is making changes. Now we have got the reshape tool. First I will select the line and then I will click the reshape tool. Here I will click and hold, and as you can see right now I am able to change and reshaping that line. Now the next tool is width tool. To use it, first click on the object and then click and drag. It will change the width of that particular object. With it we have wrap tool, twill tool, pucker tool, dot, and these all changes the shape. For example, this will create the spikes, and we have crystallize tool, we have wrinkle tool. It will work like this. So we have these tools which in detail we will learn in upcoming videos. Now the next tool is free transform tool. It is very amazing tool which helps us transforming an object. Now to use it, we will press E. When we go to the corner of an object, it will show these points. Now if you click and drag, it will change the size. If you move little bit further up, and you will see these arrows. When you click that, you can easily rotate an object. While holding shift, you can easily rotate that object at a 45-degree angle. After that, if you click and then press Ctrl, you can skew it. With it we have a lot other options. Here we have perspective distort. It will distort together. Then we have free distort, which we already tested by pressing Ctrl. After free transform tool, we have puppet warp tool. We will select the object and then we will be selecting the puppet warp tool. It have some kind of points which are used to give this thing a direction or a wave like motion. So we have these things, and as you can see, a lot of mesh from this tool which you can disable by unchecking the show mesh. Now when we click on a point, you can add a lot of points to it on which you want to bend this. Now as you can see, this point is selected, and if I will try to select another point, this is selected. Now I can even change the direction. I can drag it up and down. Even I can rotate it. This is how it works. Moving on to the next tool, we have Shape Builder Tool. So to demonstrate Shape Builder Tool, we have 3 objects. First, we will be selecting these. Now, after clicking on Shape Builder, as you can see, if I want to subtract, I will click on Alt and this. This is how we get shape. Now guys, if I want to join the upper object with the lower one, I will simply click and drag. And if I want to subtract this area, which you can see, let me zoom in, and I will hold on, and as you can see, the plus sign turned to minus. Now I'll click it here, and as you can see, this had been vanished. This is a very amazing tool, and with this tool you can even color. The next tool is Live Paint Bucket. This tool helps us to change the colors in real time. You can see the 3 squares up there on this tool. Now if I press the right arrow key, you will see the colors are being changed. If I want to paint it blue, I will click here. It always shows the objects as sections if they are being overlapped. Now here I need another color, so I will select it and color it. Now the next we have got the Live Paint Selection tool. This helps us to select the object, and you can then delete it or even add some specific colors. So talking about Perspective Selection tool, when we click on it, it will give us a perspective view. It helps us in creating objects aligned. Another feature with it is Perspective Selection tool, which helps us in selection. As you can see, it is maintaining the perspective. To switch off the perspective grid tool, we will press Shift Command and I, and it will hide. Okay guys, to understand Mesh tool, as you can see, I can color an object as a 3D. For example, we have used Pen tool and Mesh tool to create something like an apple. Now I will click on Eyedropper tool and I will select the color. Now as you can see, it has turned red. Now after that, I will simply choose Direct Selection tool, and I need such color on this area, so I'll select here, and as you can see, there are a few anchor points highlighted. Now I'll click on the eyedropper and click here, and the Mesh tool is adding a gradient. Now next we will talk about the Gradient tool. We have an object here. Now I want to color it but as a gradient. After that, you just have to click on Fill, and right here you will see some gradients. Click on that and then click on the Gradient tool. You will see this line which helps you to set the gradient. You can double click on this point and select the color which you need. Right here we have the gradient options as well. Now we already have seen the Eyedropper tool, which picks a particular color. Down there we have got a Measure tool. If you click on an object, then you will see the information like width and height of that object. After that we have Blend tool. Blend tool helps to blend multiple colors. As you can see, we have 2 objects, and I'll click and drag toward upside and it will blend the colors. Next we have Symbol Sprayer tool. To spray a symbol, we first need a symbol which we get from window, and we will select symbols, and we have a lot of symbols here, and we will select this, and as you can see, it is duplicating a lot of the same objects, and you can grab some symbols, and if you use these artistic textures, and you have got these amazing textures. Next we have Symbol Shifter. This tool helps us to shift the symbols. After that we have Symbol Scruncher tool. It pulls together all those symbols. After that we have Symbol Sizer tool. This is changing the size of the symbols. And we have a lot more which according to their names they operate. Now we will move on to the Column Graph tool. With this tool, you can easily display the data here. For example, 1, 2, I'll put 1, 2 and 3. As you can see, it is being displaying the data accordingly. And we have a lot more options available here. Now after that we have this Artboard tool, which helps us to move, resize, create a new artboard and even delete it. Next we have got the Slice tool. This Slice tool helps to save an object as a separate. For example, we have multiple objects here, and if I select this one, it had sliced this object from the whole artboard. Now when I go to file and go to export as, or save for web, it will show different artworks. So if I save as JPEG, I will save on desktop. Let's see what we got here. We have got images, and as you can see here, this is our selected file, and we have got all other parts. Next we have Slice Selection tool. Slice selection is used to move sliced selection to different parts. Now next we have got the hand tool, which will help us to drag the whole artboard. Now if you have a bigger document such as banner, then we have got the print tiling tool. When you will select an area and print a document, then it will print that selected area. After that we have the zoom tool. If you drag inwards, then it will zoom, and if you will go outwards, then it will zoom out. After that we have got the fill and the stroke color options, which you can switch by X, and down here we have got the gradient swatch. After that we have drawing modes, where first it will draw above, and if you work a lot behind the objects, then click here, then it will create the new object behind the previous one. After that we have got the screen mode, where you can switch the screen to full screen with menu bar, even go to full screen. And we have then 3 dots from where you can align your tools, which we already had seen. After that we have this home. If you click that, it will go back to the home page. I'll go back to my document. And then we have the menu options. From file we can save and do a lot of stuff such as export and other stuff. And in the edit option we can undo, redo, cut, copy. We can edit preferences and more. We have the object section to work on objects such as transform, arrange. Even we can access a lot of other tools which are related to objects. Now under the type, this whole menu applies to the typing. Then we have the select menu, effects menu. Under the view option we can enable, disable grids. We can also enable the smart guides. Then we have the window, from where we can get a lot of symbols, swatches. If we have some tool missing, you will probably find it in window. For example, if I click on brush, we will find the brush toolbar. Now from the help section you can access Illustrator tutorials and other stuff. So guys, that's all for the basic, as this is an overview video, so we just have touched the functions and did not explore them deeply, but we will be going to learn them in detail in upcoming videos. So you can subscribe this channel for Illustrator tutorials, and as well as you can check the Illustrator playlist. Thanks for watching this video, and let me know how excited are you to learn Adobe Illustrator. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.